Thanks so much. Coming into game one between Spirit and Edge, I'm excited.
I'm not. This is gonna be a Listen, this is gonna be a snooze fest. This is the sleep tactics both of these teams have. There's ET with sleep, there is Naga Siren with sleep, and there's also Bane with sleep.
Okay, so it's a nap time game.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. I'm a big fan of nap time. We'll see how exciting the game can be. Maybe it wakes everybody up. Final series of the day, and we'll see what Edge can do. Both these teams sitting 1-0. And Collapse on this Magnus. I mean, this is a hero that I feel like you don't want to hear he's got. Collapse on Magnus might be the scariest line for anybody who isn't Team Spirit.
Yeah, it is a bit rough. He's definitely pushing the limits of the hero, but let's see what Pipi and Puppy are going to be able to do in this one. They also have Parker. Parker has looked amazing in most of the games that he did. This is the guy that will solo carry you the game 100%. One of the most talented carries we've seen. If you remember Wallachia Season 1 or Season 2, I got it mixed up in my head when they did win it with Heroic. This guy had one of the most dominant carry performances I've seen in quite some time.
Now I'm going to test you here. What is the glitched item that Collapse has on his Magnus? What's the name of the glitched cosmetic on his Magnus?
It
is
is
a test.
Trail of the Burning Doom. No, this is not. No, this is the one that FY does have.
Yes, you're on the right track.
And it is called...
Don't look at chat.
I don't know. I forgot. Not big on items.
It's Bleak Hallucination.
Bleak Hallucination. Yeah, I'm getting the hallucination just by looking at it.
Yeah, it is. It can definitely make
I'm getting hallucinations because I did not sleep much during last night. But
neither did I.
Naga Siren, Bane, and ET could help us out.
Might be able to get us tucked in and ready for bed. But we'll have to wait a little bit for those sleep times. Looking at, the SF, we've definitely had this conversation. We feel like SF feels like a little bit of a lost cause at times.
He definitely does. I would say that SF in this current meta definitely has a place. So overall, let's see. 3 Radiant wins. Overall, 3 wins, 6 picks. Nothing too crazy. It is a very still one of the downsides of the hero is seeing these Requiems, but at least in this game, he has a pretty good setup. A lot of times you will see Requiem go off, and then nothing happens. You're waiting for your BKB, you're waiting for Requiem to reset.
It's a zoning Requiem.
Yeah. A lot of the times it is a zoning Requiem when you're trying to run away. Now with Chains, with Sleep, with Naga Siren, with RP, you definitely have some kind of a setup. It's not going to be Mars with Requiem or anything like that, some of the combos. Even when that was a thing, still, Shadow Fiends, it just never happens in the game.
It also feels like one of those heroes where you have a back-to-back death moment.
It is, yeah, definitely feels like if you die on this hero, you definitely experience it much more compared to the other heroes, because you do farm pretty fast. And I think in this one, when we're talking about the carry SF, the itemization is pretty straightforward. With Falcon Blade treads, you get your Mask of Madness, and then you start thinking, do I need a BKB? Do I need a Hurricane Pike? Have a little bit more defense. Puppy scoring up against Rue. Usually we don't.
Naga Siren too.
Yeah, usually we don't see Naga Siren on position 4. We'll see how much Rue is going to be able to stack. You do have Magnus, you do have Shadowfiend and Ember Spirit. We saw in the previous series, Panto, both games on Naga Siren having like 14, 15 at 12 minutes. Pretty insane.
And that becomes the question, right? Like, Maposhka loves this Bane, but when you're moving this Naga Siren, do you really have the ability to leave Collapse by himself on this Magnus?
Magnus doesn't put much pressure onto Morphling, neither does Naga Siren, so in this lane, Parker should have a pretty free time. Like, in terms of explosive damage, there's not much happening, so he should definitely be fine. And if one hero, one player can carry you the game, that's definitely going to be Morphling, and that's definitely going to be Parker.
There is that possibility, and I know Spirit really loved doing this, maybe sending Miposhka down here bottom, coming through the Twin Gate, getting himself maybe some setup for Collapse to get a Shockwave into a Skewer with a net, a reel in, some control going. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst combination in the world if they could just get that moment for Shadow Fiend to be alone. But again, he's a fragile hero in that top lane, so getting that exact moment to do so may not be so apparent.
Yeah, let's see how Tiny PP is doing in the mid lane. So far, so good. 21 CS. It is Tiny PP for now, but it will start to grow. Once he gets to level 6, things are going to get much easier for him.
Yeah, not currently showing well, but we'll see as the lane gets to be a little bit later on. I expect a lot, though, from the Ember Spirit. I expect Laurel to kind of move around the map. We'll see if he's active over maybe in the bottom lane, but First Blood coming in for Yatoro on this Shadow Fiend is pretty significant. You don't want to be giving the Shadow Fiend the boost or the bolster to be into an effective range earlier on.
Definitely a great start for him. This is the hero that can get insane amount of farm if you're off to a good start. We can see Parker, like there's always something happening with Morphling, but a lot of the times, the only time he dies is when Morphling decides to die.
Michael running. Using that chicken fingers. You know, me and you, we got to see it a lot during the China qualifiers, but not so much now in this event. We saw a lot of the Giga Ward for Shadow Shaman. But between me and you, I think we've really only seen the chicken fingers Shadow Shaman. And he'll shackle, they'll go to the double jump and try to at least get Yatoro to back off, but that's another kill here for the Shadow Fiend.
Great start for them. Both of the safe laners doing really good, but Yatoro is popping off those 2 extra kills. And this is going to be his Falcon Blade Power Treads. This has to be one of the most farmed Shadow Fiends I've seen in the safe lane.
I'm definitely happy with the way the lane is going, and that makes me wonder if now he feels strong enough to then go elsewhere on Miposhka, and that's what he's doing. He's going over towards mid, and
yep. PP, use Grow. It is very effective. Level 6, getting that extra armor. Great against Ember Spirit, which is the most physical damage. And now they're trying to make something happen in the top lane. Vitali also going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's going to be another kill for Yatoro.
Another one.
3-0 already for Spirit. And this is an easier move for Laurel on the Ember, but there's really got to be an enticing opportunity for PP to make a move.
Yeah, Tiny PP will definitely need to make a move to the side lanes, try to make something happen, match these movements that Laurel is doing. And also, they need to control the runes for PP. PP definitely needs some kind of a protection to be able to get to those runes, because this is the hero that utilizes runes very effectively.
See if he could grab on anything. But for right now, it's just going to be a slower game for PP and the rest of Edge.
PP needs to grab the tree, and after that, like it's the way he pushes out the lane on Tiny is use Avalanche, throw it, get that extra damage in.
Well, we've seen a lot of fights later on where Tiny's trying to survive, maybe get in and out and, you know, use a couple of avalanches and toss combos. But right now, you just don't really have that yet. Maybe you're waiting on potentially a Blink Dagger at some point, if that's the way he wants to go. We saw Tiny blink in the last game. And right now, at least that's not on the queue for PP. But Miposhka, sleeping PP. But they've got the shackle, and Miposhka gonna get tossed.
Has woken up, and he's ready to go.
Covering PP, and now Laurel's on the chase. He's got some help from Yatoro, and they hit the shackles. It's on to this Shadow Shaman, and they will get yet another kill, making it 4-0 for the side of Spirit. Not really feeling the impact from PP just yet.
No, definitely not. Not feeling PP at all. He needs to be able to make these rotations, but also, like, his supports are okay. Shadow Shaman is only level 3. I think that's the big issue, because this is the hero that also needs level. This is level 3, 9 minutes in we're talking about.
Sleep onto Tally, as he is A-okay here on the Pangolier, but you can see Laurel again just moving forward and pressuring across the river. Michael does not feel like he is really strong enough to deal with this, but he's got Parker, he's got PP, and, well, he's an Ember. He can just remnant away. Life gets so easy for Ember, and we saw what Kiyotaka did with this Ember, and I almost feel like we're getting a little bit of a glimpse of that here with Laurel on this Ember to start the game. Avalanche from PP. Toss on to Laurel. But Parker is here and not really accomplishing much to get a kill onto this Ember. It's still 4-0 in favor of Spirit.
Still yet to get a kill. Collapse, he is farming up, sitting at 67 CS. Doesn't have that much farm as much as SF, but yeah, SF is popping off. We saw Falcon Blade breaking the record on the hero, because this is just an insane amount of farm. Probably going to be also record on Mask of Madness, because these are all item timings that when you get to them relatively early on, when you get First Blood, it just starts to snowball so heavily.
PP unable to get the power rune. It's an invis rune here for Laurel. And he'll go towards bottom where Puppey is being chased by Collapse. RP even committed to this. He's got the skewer. He'll stack the lockdown and eventually get this kill. An easy solo kill for Collapse.
What did you expect?
These supports unneeded. But now Michael, Vitaly, and PP are here to try and take the top tier 1. But Bapushka's made the rotation. He's got Fiend's Grip.
PP is hard to kill unless they commit pretty heavily with the Fiend's Grip. There's also Rolling Thunder, so not going to be that easy, but the tower damage definitely going to be there.
Yatoro nearby and won't make any aggressive move onto the side of Edge. But they've got now the Fiend's Grip.
That's the combo
And
we were talking
a little
about.
bit too long. They go to the Requiem, and that's an easy kill for Yatoro. Staying just a little bit too long, being a bit too greedy after the tower, and that allows Mapushka to step up and get that Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, PP was nowhere to be found. He just bailed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's now going for that blink on Tiny. See how long that takes for him to get, because he wants to be effective quickly, but it's not been a quick blink for PP. Collapse going into the Ags. He's got his Blink Dagger ready to go, so they have that Blink initiation, which they don't need to necessarily rely on to be the first initiation for them.
Yeah.
Because you've got Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains.
I also want to see what items PP is going to go for, because most of the Tinies, they go for Force Staff, they go for Yule Scepter. So I think PP needs to go in and out of the fight multiple times with these items. This is the most effective items we've seen in the, I'd say, last couple of months on Tiny, instead of going for the scaling build with Echo Saber and such.
Parker just solo taking.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Shackles. And the Avalanche toss.
I also love the build on Ember Spirit in this game. Going for Spirit Vessel.
First time they get this item on Ember. And gets it at 12 minutes. But you know, you've got pretty quick Dragon Lance on Yatoro. You've got Rue.
I mean, Yatoro, 7K at 13 minutes. I Again, he's definitely going to be breaking some of the records because this is just an insane amount of farm. Parker definitely needs a bit of extra time to be able to match what Shadowfin has right now. Because Shadowfin is mixed damage, it is magical and physical. Collapse, looking for an opening.
Yeah, Chicken Fingers, I don't know if that's going to work for him, but Michael able to run away. There's not much there to really help out, but they are going to smoke. So to want to continue to fight, you know, they show top, but they're going to make a move towards mid, and we'll see if they can get the connection here because Rue is ready to go. He's got Song, and they might have the ability to kind of counter this with Puppey, but he's only level 5, 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah, both of the supports are lacking the XP, and finally, while picking up that 14-minute XP shrine, they are going to be level 6. This is something they need to utilize, try to get something going with ET ulti, with Shadow Shaman ulti. These two supports are very good at scaling. It's just that they lost the early stages of the game pretty heavily.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll go over as they didn't really make the move with that smoke just yet. Nothing quite doing. They're actually taking the stack with the Serpent Wards. So Michael commits those to help Parker take those stacks. Got that 14-minute shrine active here for Spirit, which Yatoro's actually going to back off and take. Laro's still kind of showing over towards mid. He's not under any vision, or wasn't at the moment, but Ember not really playing aggressive as he can kind of see that they've got Edge all by themselves. Or all together, sorry.
Still yet to make a big move.
Yeah.
Side of Edge.
6-1. Things felt very aggressive from Spirit early, but it's really calmed down for them. And they've got this obs. I mean, it doesn't matter. He's under the creep wave anyway, but they've got these deep vision obs. Sees a lot of what the side of Edge are doing. And Yatoro's fine with this. He's happy to just continue to farm. He wants that Hurricane Pike. He's got BKB, Shadow Blade ready to, in his queue. So giving him all this time, you know, it benefits Yatoro, but you've also given Morphling a lot of space. He's already got 8.
Yeah, he's catching up. Morphling is doing good. Like, this is classic Parker, I would say. But this is the guy that this is the guy that will be the voice of the team, and he will call the shots. Like, he's gonna say, BP, he's in.
Good toss. Throws him all the way back to Vitaly, and Maposhka with the Spirit Vessel on him. He's gonna be dead to Parker, and now they're gonna want more. They hit the Hex, they've got the Shackles, that's gonna be locking down Laurel, but he hits that Sleight of Fist. He's got a Remnant to try and leave. The Searing Chains land onto 2. They get the kill though as Yatoro chops down PP, and they hit this song onto multiple heroes. This might set up for
Requiem is ready.
But is it rightly timed? It is. They've got the fear. They'll get the kill. They'll take out Parker. These Serpent Wards, they're not exactly in the best spot. They see Michael, and they will get another kill for Spirit. It's now 9-2.
It was a good opening for PP, getting that toss back, but they still don't have enough. They're so far behind. This is also a fight where they don't use Fiend's Grip at all, and it's going to be a difficult game for Pango. If he's playing into Bane, if he's using Rolling Thunder, he's never going to feel too comfortable. And also the overwhelming damage from Shadowfiend could be a bit tricky for him. And there's that Hurricane Pike you talked about. This is going to be him dealing with most of the... Whatever gets thrown at him, they have multiple ways of saving him with RP, with Nightmare Save, and also save from Nagasan with the sleep.
Oh, they call PP again. He's got the sleep on PP, and now Yatoro set up. You're going to grip PP as well and get an easy kill on the Tiny. 10-2 in favor of Team Spirit, up 8,000 net worth. But it's giving time to Parker, and like you said, if there's anybody who can carry on Morphling, it's Parker. But can he do it from this far behind? He's having an okay game in terms of net worth. We kind of saw this with Xtreme, right? Ame was having a really good farmed game, but everybody else was really falling behind, and that's kind of what we're seeing here with Edge.
One thing that Shadowfiend doesn't have anymore is his Presence Aura affects buildings on level 15. So you don't have that. You do have extra armor reduction instead, or Shadow Raise damage. Most of the time you do go for the Presence armor. Right now he's sitting at 4 lasting Presence, so it's an insane amount of armor, and maybe they're trying to reset that, get another kill. PP thinking about going in.
RP, get that reverse polarity out there. PP just chopped down again. and they are going to look over. I mean,
they just
stands
die
there.
in a
Yeah,
second.
he's just going to die.
That's 6 charges on Lasting Presence.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They should be able to get a tier 2 if they want to commit to this. There's nobody who can really stand in their way.
Very difficult game for Edge.
Yeah, they're down a lot already. It's 18 minutes into the game. They're 10,000 behind. You've got Yatoro who's having a really big start. And we've said Shadow Fiend's a fragile hero. So if you can get Shadow Fiend once or twice, I mean, it's a tough and it's a tall task. But if you can get there, it gives you a way back into the game. But the things we've seen is that even Ember can really make your game difficult without the carry. And PP just
again.
getting hit hard by Yatoro. It's already godlike here for this Shadow Fiend. They get Miposhka, but is it going to be enough? Serpent Wards and the Shackle will connect on a collapse to get the kill onto this Magnus.
Another Requiem.
This
Let's see if they can time it.
The Requiem
Yes,
coming
they
out
can.
with these. They'll take out Michael. Parker in trouble. Morphs into the Ember, so he'll slight. But he is still searing chains. He's still killed off. Triple kill for Yatoro, and they want the full team wipe. They want this Pangolier. Laurel going to continue to chase. They've got the Spirit Vessel on the
Lasting
Pangolier.
Presence. Look at his minus
boy.
armor.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
He needs to run.
Yeah, he
oh my
TPs
god,
out,
he
just gets out.
he was sitting at minus 27 armor.
That's brutal. TP's all the way up towards top. 20 minutes in, I mean, this is all Spirit so far.
This is the most I've seen. Like, Shadow Fiend was meta. I lost the track of time. Year and a half ago, 2 years ago, this hero was pretty much in every single game. Puppy. Let's see.
He is
One,
very dead.
2, pretty much gone in 2 hits. 11 Lasting Presence.
Gosh. That is no joke. The duration's pretty long as well, and you can see, you know, they feel the need to make a move. They feel pushed to the brink. Spirit are on the edge of winning this game, and you get the Blink Avalanche toss, and this is a good move from PP, but look at the damage that comes in from Yatoro. Like, he just overwhelms them with how far ahead he is, with how much damage he's able to get. The Lasting Presence starting to build up.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
it's so tough.
PP's level 11. He just got that level 12. So
This would be
extra
a
armor.
massive kill.
This is big if they can get it.
Oh, Miposhka's here, yeah,
with the
this
Twin
is-
Gates.
Parker already feeling the need that he needs to kind of leave, and Michael knows he's dead to rights. Yatoro's beyond godlike. They're going to go for Parker, who will turn to the Ember, but
Parker-
the damage is just overwhelming.
Morphling has minus armor sitting next to Shadow Fiend. 34 Necromastery and minus 13 Lasting Presence. But this might be Everlasting Presence because how many kills he's involved in? In 18. So
yeah.
basically after the laning stage, he was so active that he just keeps this going.
He just had such a good lane, too. What did he have? 3 kills initially in the laning phase?
Minus
Couple on
30,
Michael.
minus 35 armor on Roshan.
It's quick Rosh. Very, very quick Rosh, and you can't answer his edge. And what's unfortunate for them now is now Parker's been caught back-to-back, right? So his game has slowed down. He's not really the Morphling that we're kind of expecting him to be. And with an Aegis, if you're Spirit, you can definitely have that
it's
"can I go" moment.
It's gone. Unless they get a kill right now. Lasting Presence.
Radiant's top
Oh.
tower is under
Okay,
Didn't last
minus
forever.
30 plus armor that they did have on Shadow Fiend is now gone. So the fights are going to be easier.
That felt like forever.
attack.
They were fighting pretty constantly. 4-20 here between Edge and Spirit. And Edge are going to have to spark up some courage if they want to make a move, but unfortunately Spirit are the ones going their way.
He is down again.
Yeah, cut down to size and making sure that Tiny just really can't get away with anything. I mean, they're the aggressors every single time. Laurel, he goes in, he's got this BKB, he doesn't even want to mess around. Michael's going to be dead too. That's 2 more kills here for the side of Spirit, and Parker's just trying to run away. He's trying to farm anything he can. It's not that easy. He's hit by the shockwave, and now he has to find a way to escape.
They didn't even have to grip BP there. They just skewered him back into the overwhelming damage from Shadow Fiend, and he just died. Parker as
Parker's
well
dead
in
again.
trouble.
19,000 net worth lead. It's getting close to that marker line that you like to say when it's time to call it.
It is time to call it. Yeah, this game is pretty much out of control. Vitaly, Blink Dagger, not going to be able to get it.
A little alley-oop play. That was kind of neat. Little horn toss into the Fiend's Grip as he's up in the air. Now he's got the Shadow Blade, and God, Yatoro's so farmed at this moment of the game.
Insane.
It is really ridiculous. Yatoro going to try and find where this spirit's going. All the way back to the Elder Titan. They don't find him, but they should be able to get to the tier 2. Edge kind of sticking in this, but they need a perfect fight.
What is the perfect fight for them? I'm just trying to find it. It needs to be ET ulti, some toss back from PP into Rolling Thunder, connecting onto multiple targets while Parker's dealing the damage. But he, like, even though he's keeping up, he's third on the net worth, there's a massive difference. Yatoro is way too big.
I respect this play, though. They're wrapping all the way out and around, and they know what they want to get. But it's going to try and start with Miposhka. The problem is Laurel's right there to help. They've got this vision on the high ground, so even making a move here, you're going to be in a disadvantage immediately with the lack of vision. They find Rue, avalanche toss, PP. He'll go forward, he goes in, and they will get this kill on a Rue. No, they won't. He was on 1 health, and he ends up surviving, and Laurel just gets the godlike kill as he has got the double on PP and Michael, and they find Parker again. They don't even get Rue. He was down to 1 health. They call GG, and Spirit in 25 minutes take game number 1.
Oh, this is just shellacking from start to finish. The way this lane started, getting a triple kill for Yatoro, then making a move, killing Vitaly one more time.
Thank you, Tsunami, and we are into game number 2. Spirit up 1-0, of course, as on your screen, and we'll see what Edge can do to maybe make this a 3-game series. Seen a couple of 3-game series, and Spirit, I like their draft again with Laurel on the Ember. He had such a good performance in game number 1. And I'm a bit worried at the lack of lockdown here from Edge. Yeah, they've got Lasso, they've got themselves Ravage, but those are not things that are often available.
No, but it is a mid-bat rider. I think PP in this one needs to be on fire. He needs to explode, go from lane to lane, make sure that all these ganks, every single Lasso is on point, that they're grabbing the kill. Because Bat Rider from the mid lane, he's also playing into favorable matchup, playing into Ember Spirit, so he should be the one dictating the tempo of the game.
Yeah, he should be, and we need to see him kind of leave the mid lane maybe a little bit earlier. He was slow to the Blink Dagger in game number 1 on the Tiny. His lane didn't exactly pan out too much, but that's also because Laurel was able to move around and make things happen around the map very early on and find success in doing so. Not only that, but Yatoro, his lane, he got 3 kills very early on. He was given first blood. They killed Michael a few times. Vitaly ends up dropping to him. So when you give Yatoro an extra bit of comfort space and an extra bit of gold, you're really making your life much more difficult. And I think they can't really feed that over again, and mid's got to go better are the keys to success here for Edge.
Yeah, definitely. This is something that Team Spirit did use when they were playing that game 3 against Wildcard. Miposhka, he's in trouble. Looks very dead here. But yeah, using Medusa as a counter to Terrorblade with Maelstrom/Mjolnir build with Aghanim Scepter, so all of your procs, there's going to be a lot of Chain Lightning happening. Good start for them. It is first blood for Michael, which is going to be something like we've seen a lot of teams use Riki, or at least try to utilize Riki to be a good counter to some of these saves. Great against Shadow Demon, not just because you pick up the shard, but also jumping the back lines, getting him killed, or maybe even forcing him to use Disruption on himself.
How does this mid matchup go? You've got PP who's throwing sticky napalm all over the Ember, but is it really effective, like level 3, level 4, or does Laurel really deal with this pretty easily?
Not gonna be easy. I think at one point he might need to creep skip because PP sticking a palm is gonna be way too difficult to deal with. Once you hit to that level 3, we'll see if he decides to pick up Firefly or if he goes for the Flame Break type of a play, puts him into the flames. You are getting 2 sticking a palm charges, like 2 stacks of sticking a palm compared to previous one because he is playing Arsonist Facet.
We'll see how it ends up as he is level 2 now. Kind of wondering if we'll see any rotations, because in the last game as well, Miposhka was able to rotate. Because Yatoro was having an open game, he would back up to the further parts of that, or the deeper parts of that jungle, and that would give the supports opportunity to roam here. There are, I mean, both Disruption, Ice Path, like Jakiro and Shadow Demon are going to give you a lot, especially if they both show up over mid, whereas Phoenix, Riki, I mean, it can be effective for sure, but again, it lacks the lockdown that the supports of Spirit bring. Rue in trouble. This might be a second kill for Edge. Can they get the damage out?
Oh,
yes, they can after he gets back into the base. So now it's the long walk back. He also ends up dying. Puppey gets a kill in the lane so far for Edge, looking a little bit better.
Definitely looking better. He could have bought Fairy Fire, maybe, and also killing the couriers. So things are looking much better for Edge this time around.
Yeah,
this is also not an explosive carry on Yatoro this time around. In the previous game, he was playing Shadow Fiend, getting a triple kill. This time around, this is not going to happen. So the game might be a bit slower, which is definitely going to benefit Edge. We've seen Kiyotaka in the previous series explode in the mid lane, playing that Ember Spirit. But again, he is playing into matchup that is not favorable for him. PP is sitting at 11 CS. Good amount of denies, but also we're not seeing that pressure that we're expecting from PP to put onto the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I'm really wondering when we're going to see the Batrider kind of pop off a bit more. He's getting these high stacks of sticky napalm, but he needs to do more with it. I'd like to see him kind of pot shot Laurel a little bit more. Instead, Laurel's able to kind of just stand there and CS almost for free. He's not taking much punishment at all. Out of mana now, but out of bottle charge is going to get an old talisman for PP and also refill that water bottle. Get a couple of sips in. We'll have a rotation of both supports from the top lane down for that other water rune that was picked up by Puppey. Miposhka, he's starting to edge towards mid as well, but there's really not much for him to do up until maybe, I would say, getting towards that level, or that minute 6 where he can get that power rune.
Not too big of a deal, considering that Laurel doesn't have a bottle. He is adjusting to what he's playing against, going for boots, going for stick, wants to get phase boots so that he can try to run away. But this is something we wanted to see in game number 1, protection for PP, so that he can get the runes, he can be the one controlling those runes, especially the 6-minute rune. Puppey, he's definitely onto something, understanding they needed to play more around him, get him the good timing on the Blink Dagger, and this time around, PP doesn't have anything queued up yet, but we've seen mid Batriders still pick up Blink Dagger and then go for a bit more scaling items. Hurricane Pike, BKB, sometimes Witchblade if the game goes late. Collapse is in trouble.
Yeah, they've got some damage on him, but he's starting to throw those quills out. Tricks of the trade, Collapse, more viscous nasal goo onto Michael. A couple of stacks of that shadow poison. Collapse going to be able to survive and doesn't really pay the price at all. Yatoro free farm down bottom. 35 and 14. Another lane where he is kind of free to do whatever he wants. And that is a bit of an issue.
A bit of a slower game as we expected. Seeing Tidehunter in the off lane, who is most of the time unkillable. Seeing Medusa as well. 6 minutes approaching. Let's see, 2 supports from Edge. They are making a move.
It's going to be a party mid. PP going over, and that is an amplified damage rune. Slight, but amplified damage, and now they're going to go. They've got this lasso, and they'll try to get this kill onto Laurel. tricks of the trade, and PP's just going to edge out Laurel there and get that kill onto the Ember Spirit.
And
they'll
they're
look
not done.
through, and they want more. He's got this amplified
He
damage.
wants more. Stick in a palm.
Yeah, it might be enough with the flame break, but the damage,
It's not there.
it's good numbers, it's just not enough. And you can see, even with just a couple of right clicks, they do a lot.
Most important thing, this first lasso did guarantee them the kill, and he's making a rotation.
No, immediately to collapse.
That's an easy kill.
PP moving around, going up towards top and getting that kill on a collapse. This is the exact opposite of the last game. 4-0 in favor of Edge, whereas last game for Spirit, it was like,
Oh, they want to
9
steal the
kills
rune. PP
before
again.
they were on the board, and
This
they're
is
going to get another one.
neutral
No,
creep.
actually.
But still, stealing the XP rune, this is the big deal. Allowing PP to get in, gets the flame break, gets the kill with lasso in the mid lane.
Radiant's courier has been
Now you get the Shrine for PP, and Vitaly gets the Shrine bottom. I mean, this is a big advantage already for Edge.
Yep. Supports on side of Edge were struggling in game number 1, getting their XP rune taken away. 2 supports finally got level 6s 14 minutes into the game. Ricky and Phoenix are definitely going to be happy getting the levels, especially Phoenix getting that Supernova online, or Ricky trying to scout things out as fast as possible.
are scared.
They've got this ward here mid, and this sentry just misses picking up this Zob. Icarus dive, Maposhka in trouble again, gets the Ice Path out. It's in a good spot after the disruption, but they'll reactivate it, and PP trying to go
Yaturo's
forward,
here.
and now with Yatoro here, they should be able to get the kill on a PP, and they'll also take out Michael. So it ends up being a 2 for 2, but taking out the mid and really kind of quieting the flame of PP here, because he was having a really good start.
Yeah, he overextended a little bit. PP was way too deep in with no real backup from the team. Even
Yeah.
Yatoro showing up in that fight, understanding that they need any kind of damage they can get, because Bristleback is not joining. He's protecting the tower against Terrorblade. He does have Vanguard, so he can't really die.
Was early aggression that was working, success here for Edge, but we'll see it. I mean, if you're the Batrider and you found the success, you've been moving around, there's no reason to really stop, and they're going to continue to go. They'll go to this Ravage, they hit the flame break at the same time, and now they've hit this lasso where, yeah, you got that mana back, but it's not going to matter. So, you know, PP's still going to play aggressive with the rest of his team and banging out a kill here on to this Medusa.
Yeah, it's also going to be a tower. So this is pretty big. First Ravage used. A lot of the times you don't see Ravage for good like 15, sometimes even 20 minutes if the game doesn't allow you to cast it. There's a lot of stacks. Rue has been on stacking duty, trying to get back into the game like that, but we see Edge not really stacking too much. They could also invade. PP could definitely come into the triangle and try to steal the stack as a Batrider. Even Tidehunter, maybe. Unfortunately, they don't have Ravage available, but he could also park himself there, try to get something done. Right now in the triangle, it is Yatoro, and Collapse is also going to come for his chunk of gold.
Yeah. Everybody taking their tax as they've got, again, we see the first item, Heaven's Halberd, for this Bristleback. And Collapse will soak up a lot of this damage while Yatoro takes a lot of this gold, and he is sitting right there with this Terrorblade in terms of net worth. Really good spot for Yatoro, despite the fact that he died over bottom just a moment ago.
Even with all those stacks, even with all that XP, he's still level 3 in the bottom lane. Needs a lane for himself, for at least a little bit.
Vitaly, just down here bottom. And he got everything he needed, right? Hit that first Ravage, that netted them a kill. Side of Fist Searing Chains, but Laurel needs to be careful. Good damage from PP, but he's going to TP back, have that Remnant over mid. He'll be able to re-engage and potentially make a move if he had a +1, but they're really, I mean, just Ice Path is not going to be enough. Some Fire Spirits thrown his way. A Flame Break, and now the
lasso. He was so ready.
They've got themselves this Ice Path and the Dual Breath. But PP, he's going to pop that Shield Rune, so he's got a lot more effective HP to work with.
15 Magic Wand charges. Michael, no Cloud available. Even Parker making a move to the mid lane. They really want to secure this tower.
This is going to be a tier 1 tower. Unless
Spirit, they
massive
can't defend.
Spirit.
They cannot defend this tower.
Got level 6 now for Puppey. He's got access to the Supernova. Parker's having a good game. Yatoro is top of the net worth, so you need to be worried about that Medusa. You've also got Collapse in a decent spot. I was saying this is similar to the last game where Edge had one good farming hero in Parker on the Medusa, on the Morphling, but it's not the same in Spirit has Medusa and they've got
have very good team fight. They have BKB piercing tools, they have Lasso, they have Supernova as well. Very good protection as well, not just for PP, but also for the rest of the team. Especially if there's going to be Egg used very aggressively. You have Lasso, you have Ravage to be able to protect it. And yeah, on side of Team Spirit, there isn't that much team fight other than Medusa ulti. Macropyre Ice Path is nice, but they have these like cheaper abilities that they could use. They have very good sustain. They have a lot of tankiness in the front line with Bristleback and Medusa.
That seemed like a little bit of a mistake there by Laurel. He had the Searing Chains on Batrider, who wasn't able to pick up the Haste Rune. Laurel stepped forward. It looked like he was going to pick up the Haste Rune. I guess he tried to play it where he picked it up and immediately went back in the Remnant, but he Remnanted too early, doesn't pick up the Haste Rune, and now it's in the hands of PP, where if they want to go, they can find themselves a lasso attempt with this haste. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They'll smoke now, and they have the speed for PP to be the initiator despite not having a Blink Dagger. And he's going into a Dragon.
Opting to go for more like scaling items. I thought he was still going to be picking up Blink Dagger so he can grab them and maybe draw them into Ricky's Cloud, Tidehunter's Gush or anything, but mostly Cloud. It's mostly against the Ember Spirit, because right now they don't have the most reliable jump.
Smoke breaks. And the Haste Rune is activated. Flame Break Disruption, but that's extending what should be an inevitable lasso. And an easy kill there for PP. Playing under the tower, but he really knows the edges of where he can play on this hero. We've talked about this. I mean, Kiyotaka played the Ember on the edge, and you've kind of got Laurel who does the same. Maybe not as loud this game, but last game he was definitely...
Yeah, I think he played it on Aurora, not Edge, but okay. And he's in. Laurel might be just out.
Okay, he just dies like that.
They're moving as unit right now. They understand that the team fight is much stronger overall. Parker, every single time meta is up, he is playing with the team.
This is a quick tier 2.
It is.
14 minutes into the game, Parker not messing around this time, just pressuring, just pushing in and in. I really respect putting the pressure on a Spirit like this. You know that Medusa is going to be a hero that takes a long time to be ready.
Especially with this build. He's going for anti-illusion, anti-high armor build, so going for Maelstrom Manta, Mjolnir, and then into Aghanim Scepter. So he still needs good 10-15 minutes, depending how things are going to go for him.
You are sitting top of the net worth, but not enough here for Yatoro just yet. Batrider having a good game. Parker having some fun. You know, despite the fact that PP's been involved this much, his net worth isn't exactly that high, but granted, against the Ember, he looks fine.
PP getting a couple of bounty runes as well, managing to get the stack. Getting very close to his Hurricane Pike, which is going to be his first item of the choice. So we'll be dealing more right-click damage from the distance. This is the combo. 2 supports, they do have combo that they can execute. Even Yatoro is getting involved, and this should be the tower. Collapse has been pretty silent on Bristleback, sitting at 1-1-0, but we've seen Bristlebacks kind of playing for themselves for a really long time until they hit a critical moment, going for either auras. I think in this game, I like what he's building, Shard, and also wants to pick up Lotus Orb. I think in this one, he might want to get Lotus immediately, especially if they want to defend Roshan, because this is definitely something that Edge has an eye on, considering that there is Ravage available. They do have meta again. And something to point out is that Parker did pick up the Fusel Blade. This guy understands the itemization. I know a lot of people, because he knows what items Medusa is going to go for, that she's not going to be building into Manta Butterfly like she usually does against a lot of these edgy carries. So that Butterfly is not going to come online for a really long time. This is where the Fusel is going to kick in. Ravage.
Ravage and the jump in. Supernova. Collapse. He is not going to be making it out of here, and they will get this Tier 2 tower now over mid. That's 2 Tier 2 towers already for the side of Edge, and they are up only 3,000 net worth, but they're in a very good spot in terms of where they are in map availability for themselves.
Their high ground defense is okay on Spirit. It's nothing too crazy. They can definitely use Shadow Demon ulti, try to commit with pretty much everybody, but other than that, it's nothing too crazy. And we can see DOTA plus win probability, 57%. Ricky does have Shard available, which is going to make things a lot more difficult if they decide to focus somebody. Shadow Demon, he cannot save him.
It's going to make life very rough.
Dire are scanning.
Now that you've used this Ravage, you still have the pick-off potential of going in with the lasso, but again, it's just going to be Hurricane Pike for now for Batrider. PP trying to extend his effective range with that Hurricane Pike, you know, having, like you talked about, the Arsonist and you getting those sticky napalm stacks out there, you really do struggle.
Most definitely. PP is getting harder and harder to kill, especially when he is about to finish off his big item, because he didn't go for Force Staff as his first item. It's Dragonlance. This is the Universal Hero, so you're still getting the damage, and he's gonna have it in the next minute or so. And I want to see Edge go for Roche. I want to see them push even further. There are no Tier 2 towers available except for the one in the top.
Parker just sitting here mid. He wants this Manta. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains coming through onto Michael. Gets heart pinged by Laurel. Laurel really loves the heart ping. I think he's the one I've seen use it the most. All chats back to the team when he uses that heart ping as well. You see, Yutoro, he's keeping up. We've talked about how he's top of the net worth. He's got this Maelstrom Manta going Mjolnir. But when is the time where Yutoro feels confident to fight?
Definitely not yet. I mean, he will show up to the fights because he knows without him, they don't have damage to bring down these heroes, but he would definitely love to extend this for another good 5 to 10 minutes.
Just realized Parker and Yutoro have dyed their hair the same shade of blue. Trying to find the same
Very
inspiration.
important for the gameplay,
well,
yeah.
you know, similar types of carries. Maybe they imitate in both life and game. So I would say they both play very similar styles. We saw that comparison chart, and that's where it caught my eye. I feel like dyeing your hair is like cosmetics for me. I end up
You're big on cosmetics.
having to talk about
I focus on the imported stuff.
the stacking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. They've got this Aegis now, though, and it's on this Terrorblade, and they are going to wipe out this last outer tower.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
A lot of tower damage for Parker. He has been involved for a while. He is not afraid to help push with his team.
They're ready to go for the high ground. Try to force something. Vitali, Blink Dagger, Shard ready.
They were looking for that quick shot there with the flame break from PP to make the jump and get that kill. They didn't find anybody. Didn't quite land, didn't push them out of position to a spot where they could lasso, and they just back away. Shieldrin over bottom, so picked up by the Tide. But they are smoked up, and maybe they could find themselves this Tide Hunter.
Dire are scanning.
Surprisingly split for the side of Edge.
Yeah.
Radiant's courier
mean, PP still sitting in the middle of the pack, can definitely grow. In terms of net worth right now, he is building into Manta style. I was still thinking that he might want to pick up Blink Dagger. Vitaly, he is all alone, needs some kind of a backup.
He's got 18 charges on this wand, and they went for him while he had this shield rune. They aren't going to get anything out of it, but he did use that Ravage. Michael jumping with, they've got the blink into the gush, forcing out the Stone Gaze now. PP, Flame Break, lands on a Maposhka. Ice Path connects, but Michael, he'll jump. And they will find this Jakiro. It's just a question of who gets it, and it will be PP to secure the kill. So
this is fine for Spirit. Forcing Ravage and losing only one hero, which means that for the next 2 minutes, pretty much, they know that the enemy team is not going to go for high ground.
Puppey trying to fight here, but the stacks of the Shadow Poison, they see where Puppey's at. They need to get another one, and just pushing him further away from this Wisdom Shrine. Doesn't get the kill, but Rue will steal that shrine. Now they've got this shard. That gives Demon Zeal to Parker. I would expect them to reset and then smoke again when they've got this Ravage towards the end of this Aegis. It's another minute, which will leave another minute left on the Aegis when that's back off cooldown.
Looking at the other members on Spirit, in terms of big items, this Lotus is about to be finished when his career respawns. Ember Spirit, Mage Slayer sitting at 3,000 gold. Still thinking what he needs to buy. Most likely it's just going to be a BKB for protection. You're playing against Cloud, you're playing against Tidehunter. Even though they have abilities that go through debuff immunity, you still want somebody to go in and try to soak up some of the damage. You want fights to last longer.
They are starting to push top, but still working without Ravage for another 18 seconds. PP leading the charge, at least towards top. Vitaly is waiting for the moment where he can blink in and Ravage, but it's still not up yet. Should be available on the reset. Phoenix is actually sitting mid. He's got Tidehunter by him, so they are pushing in 2 lanes, and now they've got Ravage back up.
Map is very small for Team Spirit. They're only getting what's coming to their lanes. These are the only camps that are farming right now, and they have no access to the neutral camps. We'll see if maybe Laurel wants to get out of the base, trying to make something happen, try to risk it a little bit more, but maybe he doesn't feel too comfortable without a BKB. And this is a full disperser right now on Terrorblade.
They wrap all the way towards bottom, smoked up. Parker's around in the area, but now a smoke from Laurel. It's going to break, and Laurel invis rune means he stays out of vision, but the smoke breaks on Edge.
Sentry obs on Laurel.
Ooh.
PP wants to go in, but he lost vision.
Ice Path connects. Parker locked down for a second. Some viscous nasal goo with the airball thrown over, and now this Aegis is expired. So I wonder if Edge maybe back off, feeling as though they missed their moment.
Immediately. In the top lane, Yatoro starts to push. They showed a couple of heroes. He wants to go for an extra wave, pop the Manta style, and the rest of the team wants to connect with him. They're going to be using the smoke. Try to punish. Maybe if Edge is going to be split up, knowing that there is no Aegis available. Illusions from TB are causing a lot of issues. Lanes are constantly pushed in.
Disperser. Looking for Yatoro. PP now picked up that Blink Dagger, so he's got that availability to jump. Dust gets used. Michael going to be disrupted, and they've got the Ice Path ready for when he jumps out, and that will be a kill onto the Riki. Anything that they can get here on the side of Spirit is well worth the movement, especially when it's a solo pickoff with no repercussions. But with the Blink Dagger now on PP, can Edge get a jump that allows them to maybe try to push again? Or are they going to wait and kind of take it slow? I don't know if I would wait till next Roche. If Edge do get a pickoff, I feel like they have to push, because you're just giving Medusa more time, and that is dangerous.
It's very difficult. Like with every single item that Medusa does have, it's so much more difficult to push the high ground, because you can't really burst her. maybe you could try to do it with like TB focusing her down, knowing that she doesn't have Butterfly at this moment. There is full disperser on Terrorblade, so the mana is gonna be gone relatively quickly, but they need to focus heavily to be able to get the kill. But maybe Shadow Demon with one disruption could make the whole fight look completely different, unless Ricky gets in with the smokescreen, with that shard, and tries to block it.
They've been pretty wise to his movements. They've got an Obs and a Sentry combo at the top of this cliff, and Rue's going to use that to jump forward. But Radovatos comes through. Michael, he needs to start to back away. They have the TP coming in for the Tide Hunter, and Yatoro, he's going all the way forward, but PP makes the move, jumps in, has the lasso on him. Poshka throwing the sticky napalm on him. They go to the Supernova, they land the Ravage, Stone Gaze, but now Supernova, that means it's going to pop, and Yatoro's in trouble.
He's low on mana.
He is getting attacked by PP as he's going to try and fight there with the help of Puppy and the Sunray and Vitaly right on top of this Medusa. Icarus dive out of mana, but can they finally get this kill? The blink from PP, the flame break as well, but they've taken him out. PP and the rest fall as all they get is this Jakiro, and it looks like it's going to be a full team wipe here for Spirit. They went after Medusa. They had him so low on mana the entire time, but with a full team wipe, this is Spirit's game as they have taken the net worth lead.
They were fighting underneath Vision, allowing Ember to do what he wants, and also allowing Medusa to just stand her ground and casually right-click. Ricky dealt no damage whatsoever in that previous fight. Jakiro dying off immediately, but they need to commit heavily. And there was this area where Medusa, she's not focused by Terrorblade. Rue did a good job in the backlines, burning some of the mana, using aggressive disruption, knowing that most of the time he's not going to be able to get that defensive disruption. And you can see TB hitting Medusa, and then this egg. It's a good way to defend it with Ravage, of course, but...
Parker didn't get anything back from that Sunder.
Yes. That was on the other side, but overall, great fight for Spirit. And I felt like Edge needed to push slightly more, especially when they had that Aegis. Try to go for the high ground, try to risk it a little bit more, because right now, we said that with every item that Medusa does have, things are going to become so much more difficult for Edge.
Yeah, definitely so, and you could see... you know, they were desperate to try and get that Medusa. PP even jumping right on top of the Medusa to put that extra right-click damage in and the sticky napalm on Medusa, but it wasn't enough. Like, you're sitting there with no mana, and Medusa still is able to fight back.
Still has good amount of HP, like 1000 HP. If you look at the heroes on the enemy side, she has, for example, 2000 mana, and she's still sitting at exactly 1000 HP, 999. Ricky, who has Road of Athos Magic Wand, his HP is 1300. Phoenix, 1500. It's not like they're super tanky by any means, and they really shred through them. And now you have to deal with Medusa twice, who also picked up Diffusal Blade. I really love this build on Medusa.
Can they make a jump? PP, Black, Blink, Lasso, and the kill onto Laurel. Disruption on Maposhka, and that's going to be a second kill. Good job there by Edge to at least start this fight with their own advantage. But the Blink Lasso, all good. It gets them two, and it avoids the Aegis fight with this Medusa. So quick in and out on a fight like that. Really all you can ask for.
This is what the top-tier teams are doing. You see enemy pick up the Aegis, and most of the time they feel comfortable thinking they're not going to initiate on us, but they find a really good opportunity. PP goes in, finds the target, they follow it up with Tidehunter's Ravage, they get 2 kills, and they get out. So now they're going to be farming, trying to delay as much as possible. Ravage is up in a minute and a half. And Aegis still up and running for 3.5 minutes. So if they can replicate that one more time, could be a really big dub for Edge. Just get another pick off and try to reset.
Can they get this reset? Can they wait out this Aegis? What are they looking to plan out here as Parker? He is still top of the net worth by a couple thousand, but it really doesn't make a difference at this point in terms of what Medusa's got. Like, Medusa's going to hit hard no matter what at this point of the net worth possibilities, and they need to have that extra control, and that's something that we said that they lacked early in the game. Lasso, Ravage, maybe an explosion from Supernova, but this draft, the thing it's lacking is that one extra stun.
It does feel extra bit of a control. Maybe I would love to see Puppey go for, but he is already committing. Seems like he wants to pick up Refresher immediately. This is, I would say, classic Puppey. I was about to say that I want to see maybe Hex to have extra bit of a control, but seems like they want to have extra bit of a damage, extra round of a team fight. Puppey, throughout his career as a position 5, he has been like very greedy, which did work out for him. He does soak up a lot of the farm, but he also uses that farm nicely. Back in the days when Nature's Prophet wasn't as broken, he was the one who played it as a position 5, making sure that he's staying with other cores. There was one game I have in my mind where Puppey, as a position 5 Nature's Prophet, was the most farm hero in the game, like 20-25 minutes in.
Whew. Now, getting a little bit harder to kill PP. He's picked up this BKB. He's got Blink, he's got BKB, he's also got that Hurricane Pike that he had picked up earlier. That's something that will help him get in or out of the fights, whatever he chooses. I mean, if you're trying to run, you're initiating with that Blink, probably trying to get out with the Hurricane Pike. But BKB is going to give him a couple more seconds where he can kind of stand his ground. The question is, with all this time spent, will it matter against the Medusa?
Medusa is just a menace to deal with. This is basically her level 25 talent, the Saganim Scepter, and now it is 65 in favor of Spirit. At least that's what Dota Plus is saying, holding the Aegis for another minute. Edge, they've been doing a good job pushing out all of these waves, using illusions from PP and also using illusions from Terrorblade to make sure that all the lanes are in a good spot, making sure that Team Spirit can't find any openings. They can't group up and try to siege any of the towers.
Ooh, Parker caught in a bit of a bad spot. There's still a minute left on this Aegis as well. Parker needs to run. Stone Gaze was used though, and that kind of gives them a slight opportunity to maybe now fight as the Aegis expires. Those Batrider illusions pushing in, and they do smoke right after that. They've got an amplified damage on PP, so he's gonna hit pretty hard. Has that shard, so that means, you know, you're not going to have that stack limit on Sticky Napalm anymore. Things are gonna get a little bit more tough for these.
Yeah, definitely gonna get stickier. PP, he's in.
Force that forward. BKB, but look at the damage. They've got the Ravage, and now they're going to try and go get the kill on a PP. They've got themselves the last one. They'll take out Collapse. They'll take out the Bristleback to start. But the Remnant over to the other side. PP trying to juke, trying to jive, trying to survive. But they get Rue. They'll lose PP.
Yatoro's out of mana completely.
And Yatoro doesn't have an Aegis anymore. He is going to die. A good fight from Edge. That worked out real well.
Collapse with the buyback. He's coming in.
Takes
Parker,
out Michael.
He needs to be careful on Collapse as well. There is Sunder available. Doesn't have much mana to work with. Like, he has 1700 mana pool on TB, but both carries burning mana on each other. This is the big one. Collapse. I want to see damage dealt by Collapse overall. I feel like his damage, he's been soaking up a lot of damage, but with the green Bristleback, yeah, it is very low. Almost as low as... Like, Tidehunter, both offlaners actually not dealing as much. They are tanky boys, but yeah, the damage numbers are still pretty low.
Snot Rocket Facet instead of the Seeing Red that we've seen previously. But he is soaking up a good amount of damage.
It is green Facet on Bristleback.
No, I'm saying with Seeing Red we saw previously.
No, you said it's not Rocket Facet. It is.
Let's see what you're doing here. You had me in the first half. I got really anxious.
Not gonna lie.
Immediately.
Roshan is dead. It may respawn in 1 minute and 40 seconds, and seem like that's gotta be just about the right time.
For who?
For Roshan to respawn.
Oh, okay. I thought you were right about the right time for dinner? Like, what are we doing here? We'll see what the extended timer is. A lot of stacks made before, and a lot of stacks total here for Spirit. 15 made by Rue. Medusa still trailing behind Parker. Batrider, the next item on PP's list is Parasma. decent item.
Yeah, this is the most toxic you could be on Batrider. Maybe you can pick up Moonshard later on, but insane. It is insane damage. If he picks that up, I don't know if you guys played against Batrider, if you experienced it, but this hero, when it comes down to the super late game, can basically deal 3,000-4,000 damage in 3 seconds.
Whoa. Might be able to feel some power from PP if he picks up the Parasma. He's got an amplified damage again. I swear this is like his 4th amplified damage.
Well, you might not be wrong. Team Spirit, they haven't been across river much in this game, not controlling power runes.
Takes that level 20 talent of the +4 second smoldering resin duration off his innate.
Oh, he also has tier 4 neutral item that extends his cast range and attack range. This is the dream Batrider game. What he got, plus timeless on top of that. Debuff duration and spell amplification.
Ooh, spell amp's gonna be quite nice. They're not gonna find anybody this direction. But Ember back with the BKB. PP not committing. Pops the amplified damage. See, Batrider picked 9 times for 7 overall wins. Not a bad win rate at all.
I want to check how many of those Batrider games were played as core.
Still has a little bit of time left on this amplified damage. They're going to find themselves Michael, and does this mean that Edge just leave? With no Ricky, that may just be the excuse they need to back off a little bit and maybe reset towards Roche, because this is looking like a pretty long timer.
Yeah, we haven't seen too many Batrider cores. Bach played it. RCY also played it from the mid lane yesterday.
Not many. They are smoked again. Michael back up in 14 seconds. Collapse. He is smoked with the rest of his team now. But Roche is still a little whiles away, so these smokes aren't exactly going to get the Roche exactly. But maybe they could set up positioning here. If PP can position just right to find that initiation, start that with the Blink Lasso, that would be the advantage for Edge. But for the other side, for Team Spirit, you gotta have Rue in a good spot to disrupt these fights.
Not gonna be an easy task against Ricky Shard. Roshan about to respawn, and they're waiting. Both teams, they know how important it is. But look at the bottom and mid lane. They're getting pushed in by TB illusions, and it's gonna be a really good amount of damage onto these tier 3 towers.
Parker almost level 25. He'd like to get that, but Collapse, they've got the Ravage. They're gonna hex him up and try to chase. They'll take him out. They'll go to the lasso. PP on the run for the damage coming up from Yatora with the Stone Gaze, but it's not enough to kill these heroes on Edge other than Michael. Laurel got the credit on that one. But everything is now down here for Edge. They really blew their load on that fight, and Spirit, they're without Collapse. He was the one who bought back in the previous fight, and now he's dead for 100 seconds.
PP entering the fight pretty much perfectly. Jumping in, getting the lasso, getting the Hurricane Pike and the BKB. Knowing that there's no buyback available on Bristleback, and Roshan did respawn. This is the big one with Refresher.
Toro. It's okay for now. Force staff onto the high ground. This Hex from Vitaly doing a lot of work, making things a bigger struggle for Spirit. They'll have Michael back up, but there's still 60 seconds without this Bristleback. And with this creep waves just pushing in,
Roshan's moving to the bottom lane.
Away.
They know that Roshan takes... Oh, look what they're doing on side of Spirit. They are stopping Roshan from getting closer to the pit in the bottom lane. They're using Ice Pad, slowing him down, making sure that Bristleback's gonna come out on time, or at least try. Roshan usually needs 20-25 seconds to move from the top pit to the bottom pit. Laurel will buy some time. It is buying time.
thrown on purpose, of course. That animation stops him. Still 23 seconds, though.
They can't kill it that fast. They know that there is no meta available for next 20 seconds, so Bristleback will be back on time. This is why we say when we talk about Team Spirit, them being such a resilient team. Always finding something, always finding some kind of a play to make sure it's gonna get them closer to the victory. And PP did just pick up Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. So now he'll be able to grab onto 2. They found the Hex. They'll get a quick kill here on Aru. Out alone, a little bit further than the rest of his team. He's got buyback, so it's not the worst in the world for him to die. But it definitely, again, gives Edge the possibility of going for Roche.
Immediately with the buyback. Aghanim Scepter ready on PP.
He bought back the second that scan connected.
Immediately.
But Parker, he'll be in the pit, but uh-oh, the rest of the team isn't.
PP wants to double jump. He wants to get in, lock onto a target, drag another one with Ravage. With this Hex, Vitali's itemization has been really good. Cloud trying to force something out of Laurel.
He'll back away. It is a game of inches here. How much is either team going to give up? Positioning is key. Step back too far and Team Spirit may just slide in and take Roche or find themselves in a really good spot for this fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
But instead, Edge, they're going to move forward. Blink forward, BKB. Remnant towards the back line. They've got this Sun Ray trying to heal up these heroes. Laurel taking a lot of damage. Radomatos, he's dead. No buyback either. This is a problem. Double lasso. PP's hit 2 of them, and now they've got the Supernova. They'll look over at Collapse, who's on the run, but there's the blink into the Ravage. They've got the control. It's onto the Bristleback. Can they get the kill? The body blocks are there. Parker's got the damage, and they will get themselves a third. And none of them have buyback. This is such a problem for Spirit, and PP getting the double lasso. Wrapped him up.
Tidehunter blinking in, using Shiva's guard, knowing that they can't kill him. They don't have break mechanic. So he jumps in, knowing that he's going to get the Ravage off no matter what. Puppy with the double Supernova as well available. It seems like they're ready to potentially close it out. Parker is pretty much 6-slotted, did upgrade his blink, and you saw the damage. Him blinking in, immediately shredding through these 2 targets.
Look at that damage done by Parker. Yatoro hexed. Has that Ags, though. Is it going to be enough? He's got the Ags. He's got the Shard. They never got this Roche, and is that potential non-Aegis pickup, at least at the moment, going to make them pay if they jump in too far?
He's in
They'll
again.
go to the blink. They've got the last of the Supernova. They're taking away the mana, but they've got themselves the Ice Path with the upgraded Macro Pyre. But the damage just isn't there. The mana is gone, and so is Yatoro's life. But they do have his buyback. These heroes are low. PP on the run. Ice Path a little bit short. Baru is here. PP gets away. Oh, but they find Parker, and that's a big kill for them.
This was even without getting buyback on Medusa. Usually you would expect Carry to kind of immediately buy back, but he's very patient with it.
So much gold for Rue.
It is a lot of gold. Let's see what Rue decides to queue up. Getting closer to Aghanim Scepter, would have those 2 charges on Demonic Purge and would have break mechanic against Tidehunter. So that's one way to deal with him. Try to break him, and then they can focus him down with Medusa.
My thought was maybe that Yatoro was just going to commit to the buyback to go for Roche. The other team didn't take it. It could have forced the buyback from Terribly too if they were to go for Roche, but it is a risky move, and they end up playing it safe with keeping the Medusa just dead, no buyback. No buyback used. But again, that's a fight that maybe doesn't need to happen. Yes, they want to push in. They're trying to collect megas, but they could go for Roche too. Like that Aegis is available for them.
This time around, they will not slow down Roshan when he's moving through the river. Medusa is out in 15 seconds. PP also changing his item build, going for... He was thinking about getting Parasma. He wanted to penetrate through their magic resistance. lower it by 25%, but opted to go for Aghanim Scepter and Refresher, which I kind of like more, to be honest.
Now you've got Refresher.
On Tide.
Double Ravage.
On Phoenix as well.
Double Hex. Man, Edge, we talked about the lack of lockdown in these fights earlier on, but they've been given this opportunity where now they can have Refresher Ravage, which can offer them a lot more lockdown. Again, positioning is key. It started with that double lasso from PP. They had the Ravage there too. That was on the collapse. And Parker almost at 40,000 net worth. 5 acts available for everybody but Tide on Edge. Medusa 300 gold short of buyback, and Rue doesn't have his.
I think it's important for PP to have buyback as well so that he can re-enter the fight if necessary. If he doesn't get the BKB off immediately, does have TP available. No bots, however, because you're playing the core Batrider, so you want to have that attack speed. But these fights are not going to get any easier for Team Spirit. Fighting into multiple, like, Supernovas, Ravages as well, if PP gets to his Refresher.
Potentially 4 stuck in a lasso over the course of a fight, of course. Aghanim's Blessing being built by Parker, but now you've got that Ags for Rue, and that's something that you said could be pretty important in a fight like this, especially, you know, you go for the Tide Hunter, break him, and kill him off quickly before he's able to get those Ravages off. They're into Roche. They have this Obs, though, on the high ground. They see this. They know that they're there, and he could make the jump and just go with the blink into the lasso. That might have been able to catch multiple heroes. But instead, they're starting to draw Roche out of the pit, and Ember is not near the fight at the moment. He's got a Remnant that'll bring him back, and that's exactly what he'll use. But these creeps are pushing in. Both mid and bottom Raxes are gone.
These illusions have been causing a lot of issues. He's been constantly microing the illusions throughout the bottom lane, and now you have no tier 3 tower in the top lane, so basically your barracks are also exposed. Shadow Demon can deal with them, but you also want to have him close to the fight, because he does have Aghanim Scepter, no buyback available, and they're going to use this opportunity, seeing that Shadow Demon is inside the enemy base.
Roche goes down. Aegis, that's going to be there for Parker. They've got the lasso. They'll get the kill on Laurel. He's got buyback. It's only 1 dead at the moment, but that was lasso used. PP now backing away. But Vitaly still has double Ravage.
He refreshed. PP's in again.
The blink as well as the lasso. They've got it on the 2. They get the kill on a Rue there. They're going to look over as the Ravage flies through, but the damage from the Medusa, is it going to be enough? He doesn't have any mana remaining. Yatoro is caught and killed and gone. 100 seconds, no buyback. They'll finally take out Vitaly, who doesn't have buyback either, but they'll look over as Parker's going to expend this.
That's one.
Not so bad for Spirit at the moment. They don't have PP. He was killed. They clipped his wings, and now the look at Collapse is taking a lot of damage. Lotus on the run, trying to survive with this
Parker
Crimson as well.
He has
just
cheese. He sees him.
Oh.
Sitting at 9,000 gold. No Medusa for 70 seconds. This is going to be a difficult fight for them. 9,000 damage coming out from TB.
What?
Yeah, he bought out. He bought out. He sold his treads, and he also bought out Butterfly. Seeing that there's no MKB on Terrorblade, thinking that he's burning way too much mana on him. But they're ready to go. PP did use Refresher in the previous fight. Did manage to jump in, get a second lasso, get a second BKB.
Collapse, not really feeling so afraid of going forward. Parker, you gotta remember, he does not have an Aegis, but he's got the Thunder. They go to the Supernova, and now he's got a cheese.
He has 100 move speed.
He's so slow. They need to stop this TP out. And now
their Thunder's ready.
This is a problem. They're gonna chase. Collapse is not scared at all of going in. Michael
Collapse
throws
has
down
no
the
mana
smoke screen.
He has no mana for Lotus Orb.
They've got the disruption. They've got the break. Another Sunder coming through, but Parker trying to fight, and he's not gonna win this one. Oh man. Rue getting that kill and taking out the Terrorblade, but creeps are in the base. You need to be careful. Your tier 4s are in trouble. There is a full wave pushing in. You've got Medusa alive now who can take care of it. but you are really risking the base here.
Yeah, this is a fight with not too many buybacks on side of Team Spirit. They pretty much didn't use anything other than Larl's buyback, so we'll have buybacks available for the next fight if they can farm enough gold. 50 minutes in, we're still not close to those tier 5 neutral items, but Rue's getting quite a lot of gold, making sure that they can kill Tidehunter. Demonic Purge, 2 charges on it. Has cast range, does have Mystical, has his enchantment on top of Ether Lens.
It's pretty nice for Shadow Demon. No Parker for 45. He's got buyback, but now they'll start their own push here. These buildings go down very quickly to Utoro, but they've got a double creep wave coming in bottom. They'll send Ember back with a Remnant over mid. They also send the Medusa back.
PP.
Now refresher for PP.
Ooh. Yeah, PP's hiding. He was hiding on the side, trying to get some kind of initiation, thinking that they might go for the high ground immediately. He was in a good spot, but this is the big one as well. Level 25, Flame Break applies 4 sticky Napalm stacks. There's just gonna be, like, you get 20 Napalm stocks immediately. You have Shard, you have your insane right click at this moment. He has Refresher, he has Arcane Rune as well.
Like you said, this is a hero late in the game that can output a lot of damage really quickly. But he has to be able to survive. And when he's looking within the trees, he's trying to find maybe a hole in the game plan that PP can go for and find that lasso. But it's tough. They had a huge lead, and it's only 11,000 ahead for Edge, but it makes it tough when you've got no racks mid, no racks bottom, and these creeps are just forcing you back every time.
Let's see if he's gonna queue up Divine Rapier at one point on Medusa. For now, it is a BKB, plus Aghanim Scepter has been consumed on Yatoro.
Late game 9-second BKB is never a bad thing.
Yep, 52 minutes in, he just got his BKB.
Tormentor to take. But they'll go through the Twin Gate instead and ignore the Tormy. Drawing a line, pushing through bottom. Gotta be careful. The Refresher, the lasso, opportunity with that Axe. Can they find the opening? Spirit aren't exactly going to give it to them, as I mean, they're a tight-knit group at this defense. But it might end up being that they all wait for Roche, which could potentially mean we do see 60-minute tier 5 items.
Yeah. Even speaking of some tier 4 neutral items, Phoenix, he has the Zune Bloodright, Quickened, extra evasion. It's more about AoE, so he has bigger AoE in his Supernova, on Fire Spirits, has Refresher, has Hex. So you can have double of those. Puppy, if they can focus him down and kill him immediately, that'd be great. But also if they commit too heavily, he does have buyback available. Right now there are 5 heroes with the buybacks, most of them being supports. The only hero who is core out of these is PP.
5-man smoke, Edge. Who will they find, if anything? Double banner, too, for Spirit. If they win a fight like this, they could push in real hard. Multiple lanes with those banners. It's a 12,000 net worth lead, but this fight, or this game feels dependent on one more fight for either side. PP has a shield rune, an extra 1,700 effective HP for him. And they are in the base. They are so far forward. They are looking for this opportunity, and the side of Spirit to come together. Blink into the Ravage. They're going to go. They're going to find themselves the double lasso. It's going to be out of the Jakiro as well as December. They're in some trouble. There's a Ravage once again. They get the kills on the Potion as well. Zoro doesn't have buyback. Now they'll look over Collapse. They've got the Refresher once more. Collapse is gone. He has no buyback. They will buy back on this Jakiro, and look at the break, the damage. Oh, the Sunder save on a Vitaly, but they've got to break again. He's trying to get Force Staffed away. The damage is lacking to finish him off, and he
Glimmer
will finally
keeps him
survive.
alive. Blink is ready.
Oh,
what a play from Parker. And Parker's ready to jump in. Like, you can't underestimate this TB with level 25 talent. Sunder cooldown. For now, he's just gonna sunder his own teammates. And he's going to be ready to go. No buyback available on Ember Spirit. If they're keeping an eye on that, he doesn't have it for another minute.
He doesn't have the gold either, so even in another minute, he won't have it. Collapse is short the gold by 1,000. He's up in 55. Maybe they get Megas and back off for Roche. That could be one of those things when you're going up against Spirit. Sometimes it's intimidating just to try and finish the game to the point where, yeah, you've got Megas, but do you want to force for more? Do you want to potentially give away the game? I'm not saying they will, but when you're up against a team like Spirit, sometimes you feel that omnipresence of how good this team has been.
They're going, and seems like they want to end it.
They've got the Hex.
No Ravage, no Refresher.
There's another Hex. Sunray. And now, with the BKB,
he's trying to focus down the edge.
Supernova, can
he's
they
doing
get
it.
They can, and now they'll take out Vitaly as well, and that's what I'm talking about. Yatoro on his own takes 2, and he does not lose his life. So now you've jumped in and given up something.
And he just got quite a big chunk of gold from this one, sitting at 6.5k. So let's see if Yatoro at one point will decide that he needs to buy a Divine Rapier and maybe try to go for an end. This is a bit of a, I would say, mistake from Edge. Trying to siege and go for the high ground like immediately without having Refresher, without having Ravage available. They could have waited.
It's a short Roche respawn time or two. This gives a possibility for Spirit now where buybacks could be available again. They're not going to have it on Maposhka for another 6 minutes, so his is really out of the question. But the gold is only the only thing missing for Laurel and Collapse. You give them 2 more lives, all of a sudden, you know, these fights, again, get tougher and tougher. Everybody's got it on edge, but given Aegis 2, and I think that we just see a Divine picked up for Spirit. That Ags was a big part here for this Shadow Demon. Rue has been doing so much.
Using it once on Tidehunter, using it the second time. But still managing to survive on Tidehunter in that fight. 8,000 gold on Medusa. We are getting closer to tier 5 neutral items.
And that's where the chaos begins. They'll group up again together, and they are here ready with refreshers.
Ooh, amplified damage. Parker just picked it up.
Another amplified damage for Edge. They have picked up every single one this game. Roche is up, but it's Megas. Do you just go for Roche? There's no glyph available for Team Spirit.
If he can get the Divine Regalia as neutral item, 60 minutes in, buy a Divine Rapier maybe. Like, this is a good substitution for also not needing to have Divine Rapier, but if you also can get both of those, it is an insane amount of damage that you're going to be dealing with Medusa.
Oh, they had the Hex reflected with the Lotus Orb, and now Parker's just going to go in. Parker, this might be a mistake. He's in really deep, and Yatoro goes in with the BKB. They're going to try and get the kill here on the Terror Blaze.
He's dead.
He went for the throne, and he lost. Oh, Parker.
Okay.
Oh,
there was no Tidehunter. Laurel did use a refresher. Nightfall. Nightfalling out of the trouble. Does have buyback available. Let's see what Yatoro is up to. Sitting at 10,000 gold. Not sure what that was, though. Tidehunter was nowhere close by to be able to back him up.
The Hex reflected, and he couldn't continue to go forward. Collapse was there in between him and where Parker wanted him to be.
Still, like, I don't think that's the place to be. Maybe the nerves. And this is Roshan respawning. I don't know if they can let them. If they can let them have this one for free. From 65 now to almost 90%. I mean, they are playing against Mega Creeps, but still. Yatoro
Hex,
eats the Moon Shard.
Laurel's got buyback. And now Yatoro's got an Aegis. This game was going so well for Edge.
And now they're living on the edge, thinking whether they're going to be losing this one as well. This game was definitely in the bag. First
they were up
mistake.
22,000 net worth.
Exactly. Going for the one final push without having Ravage, without having refreshers available. And now Parker jumping in.
And we're going to hit 60 minutes, as we already have, and now it's Tier 5's time. What does everybody want? This is rough. I mean, it is still Mega, so it is tough to really push out successfully here for the side of Spirit. There's a gem on the ground. I believe... Did it get picked up by Laurel, or did it get picked up by this courier? It got picked up by the courier, okay. Unrelenting Eye, Book of the Dead, Spider Legs, which will be taken by Yatoro with the Audacious.
I'm not sure if he wanted those. He didn't get Help of the Undying, he didn't get chance for Deso 2, and he did not get Divine Regalia. So
well, give him 10 minutes and
give him 10
refresh.
minutes, and yeah, he could refresh.
Book of the Dead, this always feels like the go-to choice when a team's struggling to finish the game. They want as many units on that throne as possible. Unrelenting Eye, Book of the Dead, Minotaur Horn, Giant's Maul. If you wanted to hold on to it, you will take Feverish Helm of the Undying for Laurel, Minotaur Horn for Puppy, Helm of the Undying for both Rue and Maposhka. Yeah, that seems like a balanced item.
It is a good one. It definitely is. You need to get a kill, though.
It's possible. The damage output from
Medusa is going to do the trick.
Yeah.
So they are going to be living. They did have some of the Aeon discs queued up. There's also a refresher available on Shadow Demon. Sitting at almost 6,000 gold on SD. Root thinking whether he needs Aeon disc or he needs a BKB.
Just looking at all the gold being spent and let's see. They are pushing forward. They've got Parker. Look at where he's at. Oh, he's TPing back. I was going to say, he's sneakily going through bottom.
Oh, look at this damage from Medusa.
Has this ages for 2 more minutes. Parker in.
With Lincolns this time.
The Illusion's pushing bottom. Laurel dealing with that. But there's a creep wave pushing top too. 999 last hits. Take one down.
Rookie numbers
around.
in this racket, not even 1,000.
Yeah, well, hold on.
Radon would definitely have over 1,000.
Well, now he's got 1,002. They show the stat again.
Keeps going up.
Yeah, don't take that away. I think he's going to be continuing to break the record here.
Yatoro with Spider Legs. Solar Crest ready to go in. Disseminate. 1 rack's taken.
Ooh.
Ember.
Big creep wave coming through.
This looks like permanent Scotty. Looks, he has so much attack speed that it feels like the Scotty just keeps flowing.
They went through backdoor for that. Medusa at least getting 1/2 of that racks through backdoor. Him and Parker can kind of accomplish that. Fallen Sky for PP, so he is looking to jump in, lasso.
He also has Boundless. Attack range and cast range. 350 cast range and 150 attack range. PP has been blessed in this game by what he got from neutral items. A lot of Minotaur Horns as well.
Yeah, one side all Minotaur Horns, the other side all Helm of the Undying. Priorities. Bristle's trying to jump into the middle of the fight too with his own Fallen Sky. But both teams, oh, no, maybe not. Collapse. Lasso is ready, but he had that Lotus. BKB, so he'll survive a little bit longer. And oh my god, the damage forcing Puppy to Supernova. Ooh.
Does have Refresher. PP.
Oh, Laurel! Laurel! He's got the Aeon Disc. That could have been devastating. He jumped in as the Super Supernova exploded.
He got broken.
And then there was a Terror Wave, but now they've got the break. It's going to be out of the Tide Hunter. They're going to try and get the kill here out of Vitali.
Laurel wants to finish him off.
He's low on health. Vitali on the run. Another Supernova. They go to the lasso. It's on the back lines, but this is going to be Yatoro trying to get the damage out of the egg. He just gets it before it explodes. He'll get the kill to Parker. You need to be careful.
VP's down as well.
Triple kill, and they need to go back to base as the creeps are in, but another one fight here for Spirit.
This is the first time for Spirit in a long time where they have gold lead on their side. Playing against Mega Creeps, looking at the buyback. Everybody has buyback except Parker. Somebody, they need to pick up the Bounty Rune. He's short. He doesn't have enough gold.
Buyback for Puppey.
Oh, they don't find it, Michael. They were pinging it out.
Dire's top
Buyback for Puppey. And now the push is on Spirit.
It doesn't spawn.
PP
It's
has buyback.
66 minutes. The rune doesn't spawn. Eventually, he's gonna have it. He's short 40 gold. Oh man, Parker. This break has been very, very good.
Brutal.
Aghanim Scepter, gold that he got in the last couple of fights on Rue, definitely changing how the fights are played out.
Collapse sitting on the tier 2 tower with backdoor, so is Yatoro.
Yatoro swapping his item, getting rid of Manta Style. He wants some extra mana regen, he wants some extra damage, going for the Bloodthorn. This has been the item on Medusa. Both cores on edge are respawning in 10 seconds, but they are also getting Mega'd. Both teams do have glyphs available, but you can't pop it. And they do. They don't want to be playing against Megas.
No, they don't, but there's still going to be some time. They're going to have PPTPing in, but they'll jump forward. They're going to have Parker with the Terror Wave. They've got the Hex as well as the Fear. It's going to be out of the Medusa. They've got themselves the last one. They're going to kill Terror Wave once again as well as the Supernova, but a TPBKB attempt and collapses out. Everything expended right there real quick.
Collapse.
They did get the kill on a Yatoro.
He was focusing the barracks, so now both teams do have Mega Creeps. When was the last time we saw this?
Megas v Megas?
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been some time. DOTA plus 50-50. Well, 51-49 if you want to get technical. Hey, you know, Yatoro might get to the point where he gets to re-choose on that tier 5 if this goes on another 2 minutes.
Yeah, but his mana was gone so quickly. Using Reflection with the Disperser on Terrorblade as well, mana just instantly disappeared. 60,000 damage, 60+ thousand damage from both carries, exactly.
And Parker, Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Ice Path lands on a 2, throw the Magpire out there. They've got themselves the BKB. Laurel jumps forward looking for Michael, but he's gonna blink strike away.
How do you kill this guy? He has double A on this. He has Helm of the Undying on Laurel, so he can buy a lot of time.
Another Hex.
Medusa might not even need to use the buyback.
No, they're really trying to hold out, but it's just the throne that's available for them for both sides. Top creep wave is pushing in, but it's Megas v Megas, so we'll see how far the creeps can get. They go to the lasso, they go to the Ravage. That's going to land on a 2. It's going to land on a Rue, which is the big one, but Collapse, he's got buyback. He's going to be forced to use it if they try to defend, but the damage coming out of the PP, they're trying to melt him out, but he's able to survive. The Ice Path misses, and he will be stunned up for a second, but he's got the rest of his team here. BKB on cooldown now. The side of Edge are going to back away, and the game's still sitting even as we hit that 69th minute. Things are tense.
They don't even have to use buyback on Medusa. Holding it for
they might not have to use it on
a long
Collapse.
time. Yeah, they did proc Aeon Disc on Ember Spirit. He did use Refresher, but still, this hero doesn't die that easily. Helm of the Undying is still available.
Roche up soon. Couple of seconds. This is going to be potentially another Roche. They're looking. They've got the Refresher, but they'll have 2 lasso chances here. Buyback from Collapse still available. He hasn't gotten in there, but they'll go.
No
They've got the
Aeon
lasso. Look at how quickly they'll go and get themselves, or try to get this kill onto Laurel. Had that Helm. Oh, the double lasso. Now it's going to be problematic for the side of Team Spirit, but they go to the Macro Pilot. That's going to land with the Ice Path on a 2. PP, he's going to be broken. Again. The damage coming in. Yatoro trying to fight back. They're going to kill the PP as well as Vitali and Parker. 3 heroes dead on the side of Edge. They do not kill this Medusa. hits him with the Queen Imperia Pathetic.
His mana is gone immediately in the second. Reflection, he gets focused down, but still manages to survive. And this is level 40 Medusa right now. 13,000 damage from Terrorblade. He was forced to buy back, but there's also Roshan available. Yatoro is running back to the base. Might want to push out one of the lanes, and does also have bots too available, so he can't TP to a fight.
Needs that mana, and you know, there are 20 Mad Stones now needed to refresh that tier 5. If anybody else wants something different, Collapse is going to try and survive a little bit longer as he wants to pick up that heart. But you can see Medusa, give me that mana back, and back into the fight I go. They will get themselves an Aegis. They will get themselves everything that comes with it. A refresher shard, a banner, a cheese. But some of these things may not be worth taking a slot.
Somebody pick it up. Roshan's banner is also available. Cheese is the one that is kind of the least value you can have, but still Miposhka is gonna get it. But you do have Medusa on the team, so Cheese is very valuable.
Do you think that Cheese should upgrade with time? Each cheese drop after a certain time?
Yeah, definitely should. Give him something. At least we have like ability to get the block of cheese, but we don't see it as much.
Terra Wave fearing up both Collapse as well as Yatoro. On the side though, they hit the Ice Path. That's going to land on a Vitaly, who's going to be broken once again. He pops that BKB, but he's on the run. This is a problem. He is in trouble as the chase is there for the side of Team Spirit. They've got the Sutter coming up from Parker. Ravage use. That's going to lock down Collapse. The Supernova's going to pop off, but now he's going to go to another Supernova.
Parker, he refreshed. He's ready to jump.
They go into the fear. They've got the Terra Wave. They'll get the Aegis out of the hands of this Bristleback. They'll take out Miposhka. They'll look at Yatoro. He's dead too. Everybody falling on the side of Team Spirit, but they're coming back into the fight. They'll boots and travel too. Yatoro comes
Parker's
back in.
dead. Parker's down.
Parker, Vitaly die. All don't have buyback. Oh dear. Edge falling apart. They are all surrounding PP, and they will kill him once more. And this is looking like it's it. It is. GG is called, and Team Spirit take the 2-0.
And this is why we say Team Spirit is one of the most, if not the most resilient team in